Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy Lil Finny. And this is episode 3 of Carx Street on the PS5. As y'all can see, I got a new car. I told you I was gonna get a new car, alright? I kinda also been playing offline a little offline. This game is addicting, alright? This game is very addicting, so I probably won't be able to capture all the moments because I have been playing offline, but I'm gonna try my best to do so. I got a new car. I told you I'm gonna get a new car. We're gonna jump into some of these races. Cujo Sprint. We'll jump into some of these races, man. We're gonna knock some of these races out, bro. I'm trying to race that dude, race the boss. He was talking mad shit in the last episode, man. Talking about I had to pay his respect and pay to get in the. Man, I'm not paying for nobody. You must not know my name. I just beat your homegirl, bro. You might want to get a little worried because I'm coming for that top spot. And when I get it, I'm gonna get it. Let's jump into this Midtown Circuit number 5, man. We got the Honda, the R32, and the Porsche in front of me. So let's see who's gonna win this, bro. That R32. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, R32. Ugly. Shit. Ugly as shit. And I got more power. So let's see how we handle with these drifts. First corner. Let's get it. Let's see. Come on. Yeah. 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 Third place, man. Another thing I wanted to address too, bro, because people, I keep saying this. The Instagram comments about this game, I'm seeing mixed reviews about it. A lot of people saying that, it's boring, it's not worth it. Once again, this is a mobile game coming to console. It is not going to be perfect. I keep saying that. Let's take games like Need for Speed, other racing games that's in the same realm as this, right? Other games, right? Let's talk about it. Need for Speed, on the other hand, great franchise, wonderful franchise. Let me reiterate that. However, since Need for Speed 2015, that game in particular, it was an okay game. The customizations, on the other hand, was it was subpar. Don't get me wrong, it was a wonderful game. I particularly like that one. Okay, fine. If I'm not mistaken, I think Payback came after that. I didn't play Payback, I skipped it. Well, I think it came before that. I think it came after. I want to say it came after. I don't know. One or the other. I skipped Payback, however. So, cool. They announced Need for Speed Heat. I was like, okay, cool, fine. Need for Speed Heat. All right, let's give it a try. Seeing gameplay of it, I'm like, this looks promising. Played it, enjoyed it. I was like, oh, wonderful game. When it first dropped, I was impressed. I'm like, oh, wonderful. Okay, cool. They gave us the game, and I want to say Need for Speed Heat was $60 if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. $60. Okay, fine. They then released an update or a DLC pack, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to address it as. It was a key to the city. It didn't really, have any effect on the game. I brought it. It didn't have any effect on the game. They gave us 2 cars also. They gave us an Aston Martin convertible and a McLaren F1. Okay. The Aston Martin was slow. I didn't drive it. The McLaren also was, guess what, behind a paywall. So guess what? You had to pay another $4 on top of it already being $4. So now you're almost $70 in the hole because you bought 2 packs and you bought the video game. Just for them to give us that, and you know what they do? They don't drop any other game. No other DLC, no other news, anything. And I understand, they end up shutting down and the company issues. And I get that. I truly understand that. However, it's kind of crazy to drop a game for $60 and then have 2 microtransactions. People buy microtransactions and then just leave them up in the air to not know what else comes after that. It's kind of crazy to me. And like I said, I know companies go through everything, so there's kind of ish, I get that. I get that. I get that. I truly do get that. Here's my issue with that. You don't do anything with the game. Then you tease a new Need for Speed. This one in particular has colored anime. I don't. Okay, fine, whatever. All right, cool. Then they decide, well, hey, let's put ASAP Rocky in the game. All right. Here's my problem with that. I like ASAP Rocky. Huge fan of ASAP Rocky. You could have added T-Pain. Let this sink in for a second. You could have added T-Pain. This could have been a whole nother revamp of the franchise to then make it even more modern. You could have also piggybacked off of Need for Speed Heat. I know it's a different company, I know that, but same title brand name. You could have piggybacked off of what y'all previously dropped or what another company previously dropped. And then added on to that. You also, and then I'm looking at this from a game developer standpoint as a company. If I was dropping Need for Speed, period. If I shelved Need for Speed Heat and I made people pay $60 for Need for Speed Heat, then drop 2 microtransactions for Need for Speed Heat. Yeah, they wasn't the greatest. What I would have done was making Need for Speed Unbound. I would have made it cheaper. That would have been the first thing. Would have made it cheaper. Would have made it, instead of making it $70, would have made it maybe $40, $35, $40. I also would have made a welcome pack. I would have made the welcome pack for free. Gave all the cars that they previously didn't have in Need for Speed, gave those cars as free welcome pack vehicles for everyone who spent money on that to then get their money back or did to get fulfillment from that game. Because there's a lot of cars missing from that game in particular. A Charger, newer Charger. People's asking for new Camaros, new whatever. Supra. And I know it was a whole issue legally with Toyota and Need for Speed. I don't know, for whatever reason, they didn't, Toyota was being real finicky about that. But anything could have happened. But definitely a welcome pack, 100%, or free cars, 110%. They didn't do that. What they did was, in every video game fashion, they microtransaction the game. Microtransaction the game. So, that's just what it is. Now, don't get me wrong, some of the microtransactions aren't bad. However, that goes back to what I said again. You dropping a subpar game, and then you want us to spend $15 on a season pass. Season pass is a season pass, right? And then you want us to then spend another $15 months down the line for the Season Pass 2, and Season Pass 3, and Season Pass 4. So you see what I'm getting at? They're basically just taking our money and and don't get me wrong, in the Season Pass you do get a lot of cars, you do get stuff that's worth it, but you're going in the wrong direction. And the frustration is, they know that. I'm pretty sure they pay attention to the consumers, and I'm pretty sure they pay attention to the plummet in sales. There's no reason that Forza Horizon 5, on the other hand, that's an Xbox exclusive that came over to PS5, outsold every PS5 exclusive race game. There's no need for that. There's no reason. Why is Forza Horizon 5 outselling Gran Turismo? Why is Forza Horizon 5 outselling Need for Speed? Now, I know Need for Speed is on both consoles. I know Gran Turismo is only on PS5, and Gran Turismo and Need for Speed are two different type of racing games. One is circuit, and one is also street. So I get that. But Forza, on the other hand, is a street game, and Gran Turismo, I meant to say, is circuit. So they're two different type of racing games, but even still then, it's no need. The frustration is very, very up there. So when it comes down to Carx Street, I have a soft spot for this game because they're giving us the best of both worlds, bro. They're giving us the best of both worlds. I mean, you have Crew Motorfest. Bro, the driving in that game sucks. The driving in that game sucks. I'm going to say it. Driving and controlling the car sucks. The physics They suck. They suck. The car engines, they sound pretty nice. Don't get me wrong, but they suck. That game, driving on that game sucks. It had been like that for the crew since Crew 1. It sucks. It sucks. And guess what? That game too, microtransaction. Now, I'm not sitting up here saying that games can't do microtransactions because Call of Duty did it back in the day. A bunch of games did it previously before Fortnite started, or any other game started picking up the microtransaction wave and just making that solely the base of their game with no soul. I get that. Games did that before. But the problem is when you spend $30, $40, $50 on a game and the microtransaction is $20 and you really don't really get anything out of it. You don't benefit from it. That's a problem. Because then people is not going to want to buy that. People's not going to want to spend $20 every time another microtransaction drop months down the line. That's a problem. And Carx Street, even with this game, and I like this game a lot. I give it a, just off of me playing it alone, as long as I did play it, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Could be 8. But there's a lot of things that need to upgrade, which I know that already. I'm not coming into this game thinking that it's going to be perfect because I know it's not going to be perfect. But I'm willing to give it a try. But even with this game, if this game gets to a point where microtransit like it's gonna get to a point where a lot of games are just microtransactions. And if no one is benefiting from that except the company, then a lot of games are gonna fail. There's no way Need for Speed gave us Corbin. They gave us Underground 1, 2, Pro Street. Like, and they can't go back to that. They can't go back to that. Need for Speed Undercover. Need for Speed 1. They can't go back to that. Payback. And I didn't play Payback, but I heard a lot of people had mixed emotions about that. And they can't go back to that. They can't give us that. They can. They choose not to because they know we're going to keep giving us the money for that, for them to give subpar games. So that's my whole take on it. And I keep saying that, and a lot of people, it goes in people's ears, and people just don't, which everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But that's my frustration with these companies and these video games. Then you have a game like Carx Street, which is only $30 that comes out, and they wonder why a lot of people's on Carx Street instead. You know, I mean, that's, you know, it's not hard to really narrow down what the real, true problem is. It's really not hard to do that. You know, but like I said, this game in particular, you can run out of gas. We've been asking for that feature for months, years. You can lose tires. We was asking for that feature months, years. We've been asking for that. We've been asking for that. Granted, the map is not that big, but who knows? They might just say, you know what? Let's do a map expansion. Let's not make it a pack. How about that? Let's not make it a pack. Let's make it, I don't know, free. Let's make it free. And even if they do put it in a map expansion pack and they make it to where you have to buy it, make it so that when people buy it, they absolutely want it. Make it worth something. Great, if you want to make it $20, that's fine. But give us $20 worth of materials that we can play with. Don't make it $20 and only give us $3 worth of material. Need for Speed Heat. Sorry, but that's just the truth. Need for Speed, they messed over their own game. And I heard they're dropping a new one, I'm not buying that. And this is coming from somebody who likes racing games. Gran Turismo, on the other hand, I like Gran Turismo. Enjoy every bit of it. I'll play Gran Turismo 100 times over. But Gran Turismo, they're kind of in that quiet, soft corner because no one really talks about that game in a negative light because it's a simulation. It's a real life physics driving type of game. You can run out of gas on there too. Wonderful. Ben was able to do that from Gran Turismo 4, Gran Turismo 5, even earlier than that. That been a game that people, you know, been like. The only thing about Gran Turismo is I wish that it was more customization for a lot of cars, and they're kind of doing that now. They had engine swaps in the game. For God's sake, they're trying. They're trying. Can't knock somebody who's trying. Carx Street, they're trying. The only game I don't see trying is Need for Speed. Forza tried to do it. People have been complaining about Forza Arrow since Forza Horizon 2. You know what Forza Horizon 5 did? Let's charge them $60 and look. Let's also keep Forza Arrow back in the game. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. This is getting out of hand. And the only way they will start realizing that and start noticing that is when people stop buying their game. I'm pretty sure Need for Speed suffered. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm pretty sure of that. Need for Speed suffered. Forza, on the other hand, they're probably going to suffer because a lot of people is getting tired of that shit. And it's coming from a diehard racing fan. Every time a new racing game comes out, I'm going to probably buy it. But it shouldn't have to get to a point where before I buy a game, I'm so hesitant on buying it because I kind of know what's going to happen. Bro, it'd be times where a new racing game comes out, bro, I would have to literally sit down and really take a deep dive into the trailer, or even, let's say it drops tomorrow. Bro, it'll be a month and a half before I absolutely buy the video game because I don't want to waste my money on it. And it's like that for a lot of games, but in particular race games. They microtransaction you to death, and then they want you to spend all your money on it. That's not happening, bro. That's not realistic. In Carx Street, if you guys do the same thing, I'm going to say the same thing about you guys. You guys not off the hook. But you guys are trying. You guys are trying. And that's the only thing that's wrong with companies. You know? I do feel like Carx Street has to win. But we have to wait that out and see. And I'm willing to see. I'm willing to keep sitting back and let them do their thing. But it's only $30, bro. You can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. And I know people out there agree. I know some people out there disagree. Companies are going to disagree. But it's only going to show in themselves, bro. It's going to show in themselves. It's just as simple as that. I don't know why you guys can't understand that. I don't know why you guys can't grasp that shit. It's not hard to make a difference. It's really. And I know a lot of people who need to play old video games. They're kind of old now, so they probably don't really have time to play. But I'm pretty sure if nostalgia based alone, they will come back and try to play games. 100%. 100%. They will spend their money. You drop them in Need for Speed now. And you bring back, and they tried to do it with Razor. They brought Razor back, but that's not enough. That's just not enough. After you've already microtransaction us to death, you can't butter us up by just bringing back a top boss that we played in Most Wanted that was damn near 15 years ago. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's gonna take more than microtransactions. It's gonna take more than Razor. It's gonna take more than cars that we want. The feeling. Bring that back. The feeling. We've been asking for diamonds. Need for Speed Underground did it in 2001. 2002. The early 2000s. Tuning cars. Dynos. They did it. Carx Street. All I'm saying is, put a dyno in the game. Keep updating it. Listen to the fans. Listen to what the fans want. The fans already bought our game. You already have the fans in your hand. Since Need for Speed can't get it down, Forza can't get it down, you're the runner-up now. You have the fans in your hands. Give them what they asked for. That's all I gotta say about this, man. It's tiring. It's tiring, and it's time to put a stop to this. You guys know what you guys have to do. As simple as that. If you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you guys agree with what I said, let me know down in the comments. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Catch y'all on the next one, for sure. Next time we're gonna be online. I'll see y'all boys later.